Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. How exciting is this? We are continuing our previous shir. We had the Kasha of Rabbi Akiva Eger. Rabbi Akiva Eger asked in the Gemara says that Beulah Kohen Gadol is an essay she'eino shaveh lakol. That according to Rabbi Akiva, who says that Kedushin are not toifis b'chayvei lavin and chayvei essay, but Beulah Kohen Gadol, which isn't shaveh bakol, which doesn't apply to everybody, that's more kal. And therefore Rabbi Akiva agrees, according to Rabbi Shebov, that Kedushin are tofes, and the child of such a union is not a mamzer. So, frekt Rabbi Akiva Eger, I don't understand. Since chayvei lavin and chayvei essay are learned from the same pasuk, just like by chayvei essay, we see that an essay she'eino shaveh bakol, the kedushin are tofes. So why don't we say the same thing about a lav, ayah, grusha, lekoin hedyot? Why don't we say that since it's an essay she'eino shaveh bakol, that only applies to kohanim? Memela, kedushin should be tofes. Grusha lekoin hedyot. They're learned from the same pasuk in Yavamis. According to Rabbi Akiva, essays in Lav that Kedushin are in Tofes are learned from the same pasuk. Just like we say that essay Sheno Shaveh Bakol is Tofes, we should say the same thing about a Lav. So Rabbi Akiva Eger wanted to answer as follows: that the Isser of Beulah Kohen Gadol is only on the man; it's not on the woman. It says Yikach. Whereas the Gemara in Yavamis and Pegdal, it says that the Isurim apply to everybody, both men and women. But the Beulah, the Kohen Gadol, Rabbi Akiva Eger's Mechadesh, only applies to the man and not to the woman. And since it applies to the man and not to the woman, that's what it means, Eino Shaveh Bakol, based on a Tosfos in Yavamis, that says that Eino Shaveh Bakol means not that it's only Kohanim, because that's Shaveh L'Kol Kohanim, but rather, as Eino Shaveh Bakol means men and women, that it doesn't apply to both genders. So here it doesn't apply to both genders. The Yisur Beulah Kohen Gadol is only on the Kohen Gadol, it's not on the woman. And then he says, based on that, we're going to be Yashiv the Kasha Mishnah Lamelech. Mishnah Melech asks that if somebody is nishba to sell something and then he sells with kesef, even though normally you need Mashiach, the kesef kinyan is chal. Why? Because of his shvur, you know that he meant to be, you meant there to be a kinyan kesef. Because of his shvur, goy me'er makne. It's kapiresh, it's as if he explicitly said no, that this kinyan should happen with kesef, and therefore it's chal. So therefore, how do we say in Kedushin that if a Kohen Gadol can't marry Beulah with Bia, if Tchilas Bia is Kohen? Why? Because the Tchilas Bia, if Sof Bia is Kohen. Why? Because Tchilas Bia makes her into a Beulah, and Sof Bia, he marries her. So he's marrying a Beulah. So says the Gemara that if Sof Bia is Kohen, a Kohen can't marry B'kinyan Bia, because he's marrying a Beulah. It's a Gaidnish. So, ask the Mishnah Lamelech, but why don't we say no, that he has das, since he knows that he's not allowed to marry a Beulah, he has das, that Tchilas Bia shouldn't be Kohen, only Sof Bia should be Kohen. So answer Rabbi Akiva Eger, no. He has das, Sof Bia is Kohen, but she doesn't, because it's not her Isser. It's not her Isser. It's only his. Therefore, she has das in the Sof Bia. You need both of them. It takes two to tangle. So Memela, he's not allowed to marry her with Bia, because even though his das is on Sof Bia, das on Tchila, her das on Tchila's Bia, and she's ended up being a Beulah by the time he actually makes the Kinyan Kedushin b'Sofa Bia. Therefore, he can't marry Bia. Okay. So we asked in the previous shir, what about Lifnei Iver? Of course it's on her. Lifnei Iver. So her das should be also on Sof Bia, because she doesn't want to be machshil him. A woman has Lifnei Iver. So Beulah Kohen Gadol applies to the woman as well. That is, in a small capsule, the previous shir. So, in order to answer this, we are going to explain, based on the Chiddush of Rav Kalman's in Shlita, the Etzem Yisod that Rabbi Akiva Eger brings from the name of the Tosfos in Yavamis, that Lav She'eino Shaveh Bakol, only B'Kohanim, is not called a Lav She'eino Shaveh Bakol. That's not so much Lav She'eino Shaveh Bakol. It's not so much Eino Shava Bakol if it applies to only Kohanim and not to Yisraelim. Because Eino Shava Bakol, if it's Shava Bakol Kohanim, so Eino Shava Bakol is the differentiate between the genders. So what's the Tama Dover? What's the difference whether it applies to only Kohanim, and that we say is not so much Eino Shava Bakol, or it applies only to men and not to women, or only women not to men, that we say is Eino Shava Bakol. That's not equal with everybody. What's the difference? Sarachiyim. So maybe we can say, based on a yesod of the Lubavitcher Rebbe's Chus Yogen Aleinu, number of times, that Be'etzem, Rav Kook also says this yesod, every Jew is a shtickle Kohen. Every Jew has the yesod of Kahuna. He goes further, he says every Jew has the yesod of the Kohen Gadol. If you want to see sources, you look in the Maftechas to the Lakutei Sichas, you'll be able to see sources there. That every Jew has this gather of Inyan Kahuna. V'atem tiyu li mamleches Kohanim v'goy kadosh. We're a nation of Kohanim. A lot of discussion about this in the Rebbe's Sfar. In the Sefer Ma'amarim in Tavshin Lamed in Parshas Bamidbar, Dibur Mas Lishal Digla, he writes, "B'frat b'yam Kippurim da Kohen Gadol yinichas l'kodesh hakadoshim, v'lenichas b'zan atzmo l'betor shliach shel kol Yisrael v'shlucha shel adam kamoisoi." He's going into the Kodesh Kadoshim al shluch shel adam kamoso. But how's that possible? In order to be a shliach, mika mida diu lo matziavid v'shliach matziavid. How can I be memana shliach to do something I can't do myself? How can we be memana Kohen Gadol to appoint the Kohen Gadol to go into Kodesh Kadoshim when we can't do it ourselves? So the biur is like the Balaturim and the pasuk. Temtu the mamlechas kohenim from the Medrash Haggadah in Bereshis Perek Ayin Tes shebe'eis matan Torah kohanim gedolim. Hayi kohanim gedolim shalachein agam shayachet v'nesu likones hamekokom labatel l'gabe yin hashlichus. So we had a din of Kohen Gadol. Matan Torah. We're kohanim gedolim, and therefore, right, we can't go in. We don't have that right anymore. But the shlichus was never batal. The shlichus still remains. We can be mamana him a shlich, even though we can't go in ourselves, but we can go in enough ourselves that we can appoint him a shlich, because we have also the status of kohanim gedolim. Hagoin Rabbi Yosef Engel, the great Polish Hagon, in his Kunshas Gevurah Shmonim, on page 77, on Os Samach Dalet. Not on page 77, it's Os Samach Dalet. So he's also made on this Yisod, and he writes, Lefi ma shekasati makom acher be'arucha de mehus kahuna yesh b'chlal Yisrael, gam b'zarim, rak da kohen ikra kohen, mashen ken azar ikra eino kohen, rak zar, aval mehus v'inyan akuna. Yesh gam b'zeh, b'teida shem mevur b'mechilta, etc. He says that Kohanim are Kohanim, and we're Kohanim. We're just Be'ikr, if we're Zarim, we're Be'ikr, not Kohanim. But we also have an element of Kahuna within us. People are very complex. And that's Pshat. In the Gemara, says Rabbi Yosef Engel, that Kohanim are Shluchei Didon. They're our Shlichim. They're Shlichim. Shluchim shel Mehusa Kahuna asher bebailim Yisraelim de Mehusa Kahuna harei b'hem Yisrael akrova. Rak shin kol zeh yivshal them lahakriv b'foya. Kem dikim rumut zar. So before we can't be makriv, but we still have Kahuna within us. We're a mixture also. We have a tyroivis of Kahuna within us. And therefore, you don't call it Anan Lo Matzin Lo Me'avad. Rabbi Yosef Engel. So mit der Yesoid Epis we can entferen Efsher dem Teisvis. What does Tosfos say? What's noig b'kohanim and not be Yisrael is not so much called Eino Shava Bakol. But what's noig b'kohanim be'anoshim v'lo b'noshim, that's called Eino Shava Bakol. So based on what we explained, we can say the explanation as follows. That's noig b'kohanim v'lo b'Yisrael is not so much Eino Shava Bakol, since be'etzem there's a mohus and a geter kahuna b'Yisrael also. We also have the kahuna within us. When I say we, I mean me, because I'm a Yisrael ben beno shel Yisrael. A lot of lines of Yisrael in my family. We're very, very chashuv yichus, Yisrael. Listen, there's 7 billion goyim in the world. There are only about 12 million Jews. So I think we're very fortunate that we get to be Jews. Hashem. Think of how many animals there are compared to human beings. Think of how many cell phones there are. The more cell phones there are human beings. Thank God we're not cell phones. Baruch Elokeinu shebranu l'chvodo v'vdilanu min hatoim v'nasan lanu Torah semes. Akol panim, Megai Tzurik to Unzerei. We also have kahuna within us. So how do you say that what applies only to Kohanim, not Yisraelim, is Eino Shava Bakol? It's Shava Bakol. We also have the muhus of kahuna within us. Right, we're Rubo Zar, like Rabbi Yosef Engel says. But we also have this kahanic aspect to us. So therefore, you can't say it's Eino Shava Bakol if it's only Kohanim. Because it is Shava, we're all Kohanim. Mashen Kain, what is with Kohanic men and not Kohanic women, that's Eino Shava Bakol Mamish. Because it only applies to the men, and it doesn't apply b'chlal to the women. They're not even okay at all to it. And with that, we can explain the Emunas Shmuel that we brought in the previous year. He says that if a Jew gives something to a goy, that it's mutter to a Jew and usher to the goy, there's no lifnei iver. Why is there lo lifnei iver? Because it's mutter to the Jew. Lifnei iver is only if you're not allowed to do this yourself. You're not allowed to be machshel your friend. But if it's mutter to the Jew and usher to the goy, he's allowed to give it to the goy because it's mutter for the Jew. We asked from the Taisus in Bava Metzia that a Yisrael isn't allowed to marry a Kohen off to a Grusha. It's mutter for him to marry a Grusha. So the answer is no. When a Yisrael gives it to a goy, it's not usher for the Yisrael at all. Mamela, he could give it to the goy. But a Yisrael marrying off a Grusha to a Kohen, you're right, Yisrael's allowed to marry a Grusha. But since he has kahuna within him, he's also shaykh to the sister. And therefore, like Tosfos, there is lifnei iver. He's also shaykh to the sister. That's if Tosfos knew the yisod of Rabbi Yosef Engel. Rabbi Yosef Engel lived a few weeks after Tosfos, right? Go on with that yisod. And now, Magaita Trit weiter. And in Keinem Advarim, we could be Miyashev Rabbi Kiva Eger. Rabbi Kiva Eger asked to answer the kasha of the Mishnah L'Melech. Zok the Mishnah L'Melech. That when a woman who's a woman, which most women are, wants to marry a Kohen Gadol, it can't be with Bia. It can't be with Bia. If Tchilas Bia, if Soif Bia is Kona. Why? Because by Tchilas Bia she becomes a Beulah. And by the Sof Bia, she's already a Beulah. Now he's Kona. It's too late. He's marrying a Beulah. So Rabbi Kiva Eger said, no. So Rabbi Kiva Eger said, so ask the Mishnah L'Melech on that, before we get to Rabbi Kiva Eger. Ask the Mishnah L'Melech, wait a second. Since there's an Aveira happening here, the Kohen Gadol's das is on the Sof Bia. He doesn't want to be Kohen B'Tchilas Bia, because that's an Aveira. What did Rabbi Kiva Eger answer? Rabbi Kiva Eger answered, very good for the man. But he said that it's only an Isser on the man. Beulah Kohen Gadol is only an Isser on the man. It's not an Isser on the woman. It's not an Isser on the woman. So what's her das? Her das is going to be on Sof Bia. Her das is going to be on Sof Bia. You want to say that there's an Omd Das that the Kohen wants to marry her B'tchilas Bia. Why don't we say it was Mishamel's Kasha? Mishamel's Kasha was, why don't we say that the Kohen wants to marry her B'tchilas Bia? Because he doesn't want to be over an Aveira. Since he doesn't want to be over an Aveira, he wants to marry her B'tchilas Bia, not Sof Bia. Just like we have an Omd Das, we understand that when somebody was Nishba, to make a Kinyan Kesef, so he makes the Kinyan Kesef to be Mekayim Shvua. So he's Kona with the Kesef. We understand that that's what he wants. Nishba limkor lo Kona b'Kesef. If he's Nishba, not only b'Kona, not Nishba lo Kona Kesef. Nishba limkor lo, he's Kona b'Kesef because we understand that he wants to be Mekayim Shvua. We understand that a person doesn't want to do an Isser. So why don't we say about the Kohen he doesn't want to do an Isser? And therefore he wants to be Kona already b'Tchilas Bia, not b'Sof Bia. So Rabbi Akiva Eiger says, yeah, that's good for the Kohen. The Kohen wants to marry B'tchilas Bia. But her das is only on the Sof Bia because she's not doing an Aveira. What does she care? And therefore he can't marry her that way because the king will only be Chal B'Sof Bia when she wants it. And B'tchilas Bia already made her a Beulah. That's why the Gemara says that Lefi Man Di Omar, that Sof Bia is Kona. He can't be Kona or B'kinyan Bia. Because B'tchilas Bia he makes her a Beulah. And then he's only marrying her B'Sof Bia. We have an Omd Das that he only wants to marry B'tchilas Bia. In order that she shouldn't be a Beulah when he marries her. That's for him, but not for her. She has no Aveira. And we asked him, Rabbi Akiva Eiger, what do you mean she has no Aveira? Of course she has an Aveira. What's her Aveira? Lifnei Aveira. She's causing him to sin. So what's the answer? The answer is, no, there's no Lifnei Aveira for her. Why? Because Beulah, the Kohen Gadol, isn't shaykh to the women at all. She has no shaykhs to this Isser. Just like the Amunah Shmuel, that a Jew is allowed to give something to a goy if the Jew's not musar at all. And this woman isn't musar at all, Beulah Kohen Gadol. It's only on him. Yikach. Teretz Loshan on him, not on her. And therefore, since there's no Lifnei Iver, her das is going to be on Sof Bia. Does Messiah be there for Aveira? Also, we don't know if the woman knows all this lumdus. I'll go upon him. That's a possible resolution for the problem we had with Rabbi Akiva Eiger. Rabbi Akiva Eiger said that her das is going to be on Sof Bia because for her it's not an Aveira. And therefore the Kohen Gadol can't marry her. We can't say it's an Omdim Das that he already wants to be Koner B'tchilas Bia because for her it's no Aveira. So therefore her Kavan is on Sof Bia. So what do you mean it's no Aveira? It's Lifnei Iver. The answer is Lifnei Iver only applies if you have some shaykhs to this Aveira. If no shaykhs to Aveira, there's no Lifnei Iver like the Amunah Shmuel says, and she has no shaykhs to this Aveira. It's only on the man. Beulah Kohen Gadol is only on the man, not on the woman. And Memela, there's no Lifnei Iver, and her das is going to be on Sof Bia, and therefore he can't be Koner her with Bia. So we learn the big Yisod that every Jew has a little bit of a Kohen in him, and that's how the Kohanim are Shlichim. And you're only over in Lifnei Iver according to the Amunah Shmuel if you're somehow shaykh to the Saveira. And Esei Sheno Sheva Bakol is not just Kohanim because we're all Kohanim. Esei Sheno Sheva Bakol is, like Tosa says, when it's a difference within the Kohanim between man and woman. And we should be Zoche Lilmod Ulamed Lishma V'Lasu L'Kaim is called Divrei Salma Terasa Behava. Amen v'Amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.